Hi, ladies and gentlemen. We are on page 13, looking at section 10.3, which is on solving linear equations. And if you notice, there are a list of steps that you need to follow in order to solve linear equations, which is all stuff that you already know. So first thing you're going to do is see if you can distribute. Then you're going to clear any fractions by multiplying by a least common denominator. Then you're going to combine like terms. Then you're going to get all the variables on one side of the equation. Then you're going to get all the constants on the other side of the equation, and they need to be on opposite sides. And then you're going to multiply or divide to isolate x. So here we have three scenarios. When you solve equations, you'll either get one solution, no solution, or infinite solutions. So you'll get one solution when you get x equals some number or the variable equals a number. So basically, if you get an answer, you have one solution. All right, you have no solution when you get two unequal numbers. So remember when we solve, well, let's write this down. When you get two unequal numbers. So remember when you solve a problem, an equation, and you end up getting like 5 equals 7, and your variables completely canceled out, that means that there's no solution because 5 will never equal 7. And then there's infinite solutions when you get two equal numbers. So if both sides of your equation look the same, then you have infinite solutions. So sometimes we'll solve a problem and we'll end up getting like 5 equals 5, for example. Well, if you get 5 equals 5, 5 will always equal 5, so it always works. So you have infinite possible answers, okay? All right, so let's follow our steps to solve our example that's in front of us right here. Our example has an equation right here. It's 3 over 5 times 2x minus 1 equals 3 times 1/2 x minus 2 plus 9 over 2. So step 1 says to distribute. So we're going to go ahead and distribute our values right here. So this is 3 over 5 times 2 over 1. So you end up getting 6 over 5x. All right? And then you've got 3 over 5 times negative 1. Anything times 1 is itself, so anything times negative 1 is its negative self, equals 3 times 1/2, this is 3 over 1 again, so it's 3 over 2, because 3 times 1 is 3, 1 times 2 is 2, so it's 3 over 2x, and then distribute the 3 to the negative 2, you get negative 6, and then you can just copy the 9 over 2 down. All right, so that's step 1. Step 2 says to clear any fractions by multiplying by the least common denominator. So what's the common denominator of 5 and 2? Well, the common denominator is 10 because you can multiply 5 by 2 to get 10. So I'm going to multiply every single term, no matter what, whether it's a fraction or not, by 10. But it's really technically 10 over 1. So this is multiplying by 10 over 1. So when you multiply 6 by 10, you get 60. When you multiply 5 by 1, you get 5. So it's 60 over 5x minus 3 times 10 is 30. 5 times 1 is 5. And then 3 times 10 again is another 30, but 2 times 1 is 2. Copy the x down. 6 times 10 is 60. And then 9 times 10 is 90. 2 times 1 is 2. Okay? So now once you do that, you should get numbers that are not fractions, they're evenly divisible. So every single one of these numbers is evenly divisible. 60 divided by 5 is 12. 30 divided by 5 is 6. 30 divided by 2 is 15, so you get 15x minus 60, and then 90 divided by 2 is 45. All right, and then step 3 says to combine like terms. Well, on the left side, I don't have any like terms, but on the right side, I've got negative 60 and positive 45. So when you put those two together, you end up getting negative 15. Okay? Next, I want to get all my variables on one side. It's up to you what side you want to get them on. So I'm going to get rid of this 12x right here. A lot of you guys want to divide, but I want to get rid of the whole entire 12x. So I'm going to subtract it on both sides. So once I subtract it, you end up getting negative 6 equals 3x minus 15. All right, So next you would, now that we got all the variables on the right side, we're going to get all our constants on the left side. So I'm going to get rid of the 15, so I have something on both sides. So negative 6 plus 15 is 9. 9 equals 3x. Divide by 3. My final answer is x equals 3. Okay? All right, so now let's take a look at our real life example. So it says, cab company A charges $2, so that's key information, plus an additional $4 per mile. Cab company B charges $5 plus an additional $3 per mile. At what distance in miles will both companies cost the same? So I want to know when they're the same. Well, I know that cab company A charges $2 once plus an additional $4 per mile. So I can say 2 plus 4x, right? And then I know that cab company B charges $5 plus an additional $3 per mile. So I'm going to say 5 plus 3x. And it asks me when they are the same. When do they cost the same? So that means that this amount has to be the same as this amount. Or I could just say 2 plus 4x equals, because equals means the same, 5 plus 3x. All right? So then subtract 3x from both sides. You end up getting 2 equals x. You end up getting 2 plus x equals 5. Subtract the 2 from both sides, and you end up getting x equals 3. So your answer is it would take 3 miles for the two cab companies to cost the same amount. All right?